Welcome back to Tech, Tesla, and Trends. September 30th, 2022 was Tesla's AI Day 2. And on that day, we saw version 1 of Optimus walk out onto stage with some additional videos to show you that it was capable of navigating the world in which it exists. Now, this is critical to understand. It is utilizing off-the-shelf FSD. This gives Tesla a powerful operating system for navigating the world in which the TeslaBot is going to operate. This is very important for us as humans, and I emphasize that to understand, because our world is changing in a very rapid and confusing way. As the TeslaBot rolls forward, the economy will change. Just one example that I can think of off the top of my head is that of a grocery store. Let's take the example of how groceries get to your shelf. So let's say TeslaBots load a Tesla Semi at the factory where the food is made. The Tesla Semi then drives to the store where it is going to be offloaded. At that point, more TeslaBots are offloading late hours of the night and then bringing into the warehouse area all of that material, foods, whatever you might be bringing in. But in this case, we'll go with food. And those will then go and stock the shelves. In the off hours, those TeslaBots will also be overseeing inventorying for each day and be very much aware of where inventory is high or low or everything else. This is a spreadsheet dream for folks who are looking at that inventory, because it will be minute by minute capability of updating. And that's a whole new layer of complexity that's going to enter into the supply chain. But the key point here is that you no longer need, once full self-driving is alive and well and approved, you're not going to need the people to load the truck. You don't need somebody to drive the truck. You don't need somebody to unload the truck. You don't need somebody to move to the shelf. And now it is complete. That is an entire supply chain that has been automated by TeslaBot. This is something to keep very clear in your mind. Those of us who have worked that minimum wage world before will understand that there are lots and lots of folks within that are going to lose their jobs. Plain and simple. Just the same way that those that made the buggy whip lost their jobs when the buggy was no longer being used to transport people. When horses went out of fashion, sadly, horses were on the menu. Now, obviously, people aren't going to be on the menu, so we have a bigger issue here. What are we going to do as humanity when we are dealing with a changing world that is fundamentally replacing human labor? I personally believe that some of the things you have to do and begin to incorporate into your life is to reawaken your creative skills and abilities. You as an individual are unique. You are valuable and have a unique perspective and skills and can develop into something that is marketable on your own. But this is key. Trading hours for dollars at a physical level is coming to an end. Train your children wisely, because this is the thing that you have to teach them. The thing to keep in mind is that this is just one example, a grocery store. Think about the healthcare industry. How many people are involved in transporting people from one room to another? That can be done by a TeslaBot. How many people in the medical world are involved in making up a bed? That can be done by a TeslaBot. How many people are involved in cleaning up? Or better yet, some of the other things to keep in mind for those of you with higher paying dollars, analyzing samples of various fluids. Those fluids and samples could be collected and analyzed right on the spot, depending upon the package that each TeslaBot is given. This is a world-changing product. As a YouTuber I have found very insightful on this issue, they call it the end product. Both Stephen Mark Ryan and Dave Lee nail this. They understand what this really means long term, not just for Tesla, but for the world. Because this product ultimately provides humanity with something we're not quite prepared to even think about. Science fiction has discussed it in many, many, many works, but in this case, what we are looking at is the total replacement of human labor. From a physical perspective, keep that in mind. Your mind is not a physical. It is something that you have, possess, and you should develop those skills. You should think, and you should definitely be prepared to understand the world around you. In this world, actions matter. What you do, how you do it, how you think matters. Not from a politically correct perspective, because as the world changes, if you cannot create value, and that is legitimate value, not some fading value that is going to be tossed out the window within a couple of months, it is really important that you create value as an individual. This particular aspect of the impact that the TeslaBot will have upon humanity is paramount for you as an individual to understand and to begin to prepare for. I don't believe that the TeslaBot is something you should fear in this regard. Yes, there will be disruptions, but I do believe that there is a brighter future in how this evolves. It will cause problems. It will cause issues. And those issues are things that we as individuals must adapt to, or we will be completely left behind. Just as those who were unable to adjust to the new world in which the horse and buggy no longer existed. And that is something you as an individual need to prepare yourself, your family, and those around you to understand and adapt to. Because there are going to be lots of jobs that change. Anything physical, it is guaranteed to be on the chopping block. If you're working at an Amazon fulfillment warehouse, you are toast. If you're working in any kind of physical, obviously, or processing, I could see that. Trash, honestly, trash is an amazing thing because we recycle and we are constantly trying to get people to recycle. But let's think about this. How does the trash collection and trash processing change in a world in which the trash truck is automated, picks up, brings that trash back to an automated location where the TeslaBot that is capable of understanding and recognizing products in the way that they have degraded based upon objects and its optical learning system. Think about how that impacts as they are able to completely identify and recycle items of critical importance, the metals, the papers and plastics and biological, how they can process that differently will change the world we live in as well. I honestly believe that for the vast majority, as these TeslaBots come online, landfills will become a thing of the past, and they will actually become the mines of the future. But we, as individuals, will not be mining them. We will turn TeslaBots loose to mine those, to process those, and clean up the earth in that regard. And that will be a fundamental, large-scale win, not only for the world, but for every single community that has a dump in its boundaries. That's just one aspect of how the TeslaBot is going to impact our lives and things that we have to keep in mind. There will be advantages. The TeslaBot gives us the ability to explore worlds that we currently can't because we will be able to design robots with that core FSD mindset that can go into environments underwater, into space, on Mars, and other places that humans do not go currently very well. And they will be able to either assist those humans in those locations or go there in place of. That is very important for us to keep in mind. As the world changes, it's opening up new opportunities, new possibilities, and we can benefit from that rather than being afraid of that. Keep in mind, technology by itself is not an evil. It's how it's used or how we abuse it. And if we are willing to adjust and improve and comprehend those possibilities, a world of abundance is possible and will become something that we will see and we will have to adjust and take into account. For now, we'll leave it there. There's so much more to unpack about the TeslaBot, pages of things to discuss about it. I think you can tell it is a phenomenal product, not only for humanity, but for Tesla. And from Tesla, that is a massive, massive revenue generator. It will change the world. And that is one of the reasons why in that $4.4 trillion number, Elon specifically asterisked out Optimus, because Optimus is so much more than all the other things that Tesla is involved in. For now, have a good one.